Okay, now we have lecture 17, which is digital signatures, another short lecture. Okay, talk about the purpose, some concepts, some drawbacks, how email and all that stuff works. Purpose of a signature. First of all, does anyone use digital signatures yet? I love them. They're wonderful. You know, last Friday, I had to, not the one we just passed, the one before that, whatever, I guess that's 2 Fridays ago. I had to get a letter sent off to my mother-in-law's, one of her IRA companies, because we're going to take the money out of her IRA to pay for her part of the remodel. So I contacted them, and I'm like, okay, what do you need from me? Like, you need to get these forms done, get them notarized, and send them to us. Sounds easy, doesn't it? So we had the forms. Literally had a guy in my neighborhood came over at 9:30 at night, got them all notarized. So I called him up that Friday. I'm like, okay, how do I get them to you? Can I email them? No, you must fax them. Okay, she gave me the fax number. I said, so just fax them. She goes, yep, fax them. That's all you need to do. That's it. And they'll receive it. 1 business day, we'll get the money to us. So I sent it Friday afternoon. So when do you think they finally got it?
Monday.
I figure Monday, even though I knew they got it Friday because I had a little receipt. So I figured they get it Monday. I should get the stuff by Tuesday. Tuesday came. Wednesday came. Thursday came. Nothing. So I finally called them Thursday night. They're like, oh, we don't have any way to verify your signature. I'm like, she goes, you had to notify it. I'm like, I'm not notified. Notarize it. I'm like, I did notarize it. Look at the last page. Oh. But we don't have her signature on file, so we don't know if it's real. Isn't that the point of a notary? I'm like, well, you need to mail it to us. I'm like, then why didn't you tell me that a week ago? I called you and you said, fax it. She goes, well, normally that's okay. But in this case, I'm like, I'm so pissed at this lady. So, but I mean, signatures are there for a reason. Notaries are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to do both, okay? But normally a signature signifies intent. Now, does the signature have to be in cursive? No. I always thought it did. It doesn't have to be anymore. You can block it. You can put an X for all I care. You can really just put a line. You ever seen some people say, like my son, I thought I had bad writing. My writing, you know, I figure if 100 is great, I'm at about like a 50. He's like at about a 20. It's pretty bad. Okay. So also gives us authentication and approval, right? Security, sometimes ceremony. Give me an example of a ceremony. What do you think? A signing ceremony of what? And would ever buy a house? Is that a ceremony or what? I mean, it's a big deal. You buy a house. That's one thing that will probably, at least for the time being, not let you do electronically. Want to know why? We need to be able to prove ownership of the house all the way back to day one. And whenever I do title research before, you know, I used to work for some companies that did it for aircraft, and aircraft changed hands 47 times. Same with our houses. You know, you can look who owned the house and who owned it before them, So there always has to be a signed document, physically signed, that they can go back and check on. So yeah, some things are that way. Marriage licenses, same way. Okay, all right. Security concepts. We have confidentiality, for yours eyes only, integrity, identification, authentication, and then really we've talked about all those already. Non-repudiation is really the new one we're adding here. Okay? Non-repudiation means you did it. Okay, you signed it. You know, when they came out with the iPhone 10, you know, the face one? I'm talking about. Did anyone watch the keynote when they were talking about that? Tim Cook talked about identical twins. They said, yes, it is a known problem. Complete identical twins will both set it off. Like, oh, great. So he says, at that point, we recommend just having a passcode and not using your face. So, I mean, it's kind of scary. Because now, what if we got something and you have identical twins? You know, you don't know which one actually did it. Kind of scary. Okay. Drawbacks, lifting, forgery, document alteration. And what's in this movie? Excellent movie. I just watched it again recently. Excellent movie. He is a forger. He's actually a really good one. It's based upon a true story. It's on Netflix, I think, as well.
Make the security stuff for him.
Yes, now he does, yes. They hired him to make the security stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good show. And not on the slides. You ever see Terminal? Tom Hanks and Terminal? That's an excellent movie. My wife had never seen it. So we had to watch that one the other day. It's like, seriously? How have you not seen these movies? Okay, so let's talk about email. Email comes in plain text. There's really no authentication. little bit, but not much. It can't be trusted. See that little box right there? Edit message. I can actually go in and edit an email message. No problem. I can edit a signature. I can edit the message. You ever forward a message or reply to a message and it puts the message below it? So you can change the content of it. Yeah, it's kind of scary that we can do that. Okay. Now we know what cryptography is. You should know what these are for sure. Okay. By the way, was the makeup test easier? Yes. You like that one better? Okay, symmetric. We know it says both users must have the same secret key. Key sharing problem. You know, nothing new there. Asymmetric is public key encryption. You each have a pair of keys. Okay, solutions and problems. Okay, so we have digital signatures. What about hashing problems? We're going to talk about those here in a second. Actually, I think, is it on this slide? Okay, but we're going to talk about, and can talk about some key problems, some certificates, PCAT, and confidentiality. So digital signatures, here's how they work. We actually take our message and we hash it. We don't encrypt the message. We want the message to stay readable. But we want a hash of the message, or in other words, a fingerprint, like they say here. So if we take a message and create an MD5 hash on it, then if we take the same message and do an MD5 hash again, should the hashes match? They should match. So that's how digital signatures work. It does another hash. If the hashes match, the message is still good. But what we do is, so we hash the message, then we encrypt the hash, the private key. We're not encrypting the message, we're just encrypting the hash. So that way, when we go to open it, we can find out if it's been manipulated in any way. So what we do is we send the unencrypted message along with the signature, which is a hash encrypted with the private key. And we can tell if it's been edited. Okay. All right, this is recipient can read a message. Message can be verified as unchanged. Sender can be verified as correct. We can rehash the message. You send the public key to check it, then compare them. Is anyone ever getting email from Tinker? You know how they always put digital signatures and everything out there? Well, all right, anyone ever try to access the TRICARE website even? No. You ever notice how a lot of times their certificate will come up as untrusted? What it is the military is its own certificate authority. But me outside of the military, like here at Rose State, my computer is like, I don't know who the military is because you're not a normal certificate authority. So that's sometimes an issue with digital signatures as well. They sign in with their certificates in the military, but those are not passed out to the civilian world. So sometimes I get a message and it says, can't verify the signature of this message. So that becomes an issue. I remember with TRICARE, there's a way to fix it. What you got to do is you got to go to their website. You have to download their certificate, install it on your machine manually, because they don't work with certificate authorities. Okay. Hashing problems. There's two messages that have the same hash, then they have the same signature. Okay. That's what we think is correct. It says effectively the signer has signed everything with the same hash. Solution uses a good hashing algorithm. MD5 has a known collision. Here's an example down there. We're doing an MD5 on hello.exe, then an MD5 on erase.exe. They have the same. What a collision is if you can have two different things that produce the same hash, it's called a collision.
What are the odds of that?
Oh, very slim. Very, 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 very slim. But it can happen. Okay? Now, car keys. You know there's duplicate car keys out there? Has to be. So basically what we're saying is if you had a car key for whatever, the odds are you could walk through a big, large parking lot and get into somebody else's car. Do you agree with that? Yeah, because there's.
You did that on accident once.
Yeah, you can do it, especially when people leave the car unlocked. You walk right in and sit down. Yeah, but yeah, car keys. There's only so many out there. There's only so many MAC addresses out there. Sooner or later, they're going to get reused. Okay. Key problems. How do we know the public key we're using to validate a message belongs to the sender? Okay. It says, what if the true sender private key has been compromised? So your private key has been compromised, so I don't really know. So that becomes an issue as well. Okay. Now we can have digital IDs to solve that. Okay. So we could have a name, ID, public key, valid range, certificate number. This is basically like a certificate we find on the internet. Certification chain and a public key infrastructure. Sounds great. I'll give you an example though. Way back when I ran my company, I was setting up a a website for, it was the 21st Marine Division, setting up their website. They wanted a certificate on it. So I resell certificates. I think I still do to this day. What I do is I would buy the certificate and sell it to them. Okay. So I went to buy the certificate for them. I got all their information, and you submit it to this certificate authority, which probably they mentioned there at the end. I submitted all the information to the certificate authority, then they verify it. When it's all approved, they send you back the actual certificate. Basically, what I do is I give them like half the certificate, and they give me the other half. Okay. Well, I send all the information to them, and I get the automated email. Thank you for providing your information. Blah blah blah. We'll get back to it. And I think the next day I says we need a copy of the incorporation paperwork. I go, okay, I can get that because they're going to verify my name and the address of the 21st Marine Division. So I ask them for it. You can just imagine how quickly they can find that paperwork. But they said we'll get it to you in a couple of days. No big deal. I'll wait. So literally, like the very next day, they sent the certificate in the mail. Thank you. Your request has been approved. I haven't sent in the certificate, the incorporation paperwork yet. Did it with another company as well. This time I didn't even ask them for it. Submitted the request. I'll wait 2 days. Sure enough, it came approved in the mail again. So I'm like, that sucks. I don't know if it still works. Probably doesn't. But it's just scary. We have these in place, these ways of handling it that are not being implemented correctly. They're not following their own privacy or their own policies. Okay. PKI, public key infrastructures, hardware, software, people, policies, procedures required to issue and manage digital certificates for corporate, DoD, education, everybody. Okay. And it gets very, very, very in-depth. Okay. A new thing now we can do is revoke a certificate. Say when I sold certificates, I was given a free certificate from my company. It's good for 10 years. What's the odds I'm going to have the same computer system, the same everything for 10 years? Pretty bad. What's the odds I'll have the same phone for 2 years? Well, actually, I might this time. But the point is that initially you could not revoke them once the certificate was given. Can you imagine having a 10-year certificate you can't get rid of? So now what we have is called CRLs, Certificate Revocation List, which list bad certificates or certificates that have been revoked. Okay. So whenever you're going to go to a website, first thing you do is you check, hey, is this certificate on this list? Check this very quickly to check. Then, so you can tell if it's been revoked or not. Okay, confidentiality. What about the nested safe method? Okay, we can encrypt the message, not just the digest, but now we can encrypt the entire message. Okay, then encrypt the result using my own private key. Okay, the result, both sender and receiver are sure no one else can get it, so that's a good way of doing it. So I can encrypt it, and then I can encrypt it with your public key, so you're the only one who's going to be able to open it. Okay. And I encrypt it with my private key, so then you can dig it. It's basically called encrypting and signing. Okay. I think you all did that when you were with PGP. Didn't you have to encrypt and sign? I think you did. Okay. Ethics, we have phishing and social engineering. Are those big deals right now? Crazy big deal right now. Everybody's got stuff going. I'd say social engineering is probably one of the biggest ones. Well, I guess they're both big. So many phishing emails. I got a new one the other day. You know how we're getting all the spam email from Nigeria, you're going to be a millionaire and all that, you know what I'm talking about? They mailed me one. Literally mailed me to my house. And I get this letter. It was from some trust organization. I opened it up. Oh, we're from such and such a trust in Nigeria, and blah, blah, blah. You're going to make millions of dollars. And it's like, they literally mailed it to my house. It's pretty amazing. Okay. So, summary. So, handwritten signatures are unreliable. And we know that. Digital signatures provide solutions, but also have new problems. The new problems can be solved, but if we solve the problems, then we're going to have more problems. You know that. Okay. What about the date problem? How do you know what the date is? That's a whole other issue. Okay. Not getting into there. And there are some sources for this if you'd like. Oh, check out that last guy's name. It's close to mine. A.K. Dundi. It's close. Dundi. It's close. All right.